7 Russian Navy ships spotted near Japan. Russian warship violated Danish territorial waters. Japan talks about acquiring nuclear power subs. Biden says he and China see to talk soon. NASA's Chandra catches pulsar in X-ray speed. Millions stranded as floods ravage Bangladesh, India. Shanghai factory explosion leaves 1 dead. YouTube Shorts has 1.5 billion monthly viewers.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's June 20th, Monday, and here are your top stories. Japan's Defense Ministry on June 16th said 7 Russian Navy vessels were spotted in the Pacific Ocean off Chiba Prefecture near Tokyo. NHK reported. Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force vessels confirmed on Thursday that the Russian ships gathered in the incident, including destroyers and frigates, were sailing southwest in the Pacific about 180 kilometers southeast of Cape Inuvo. The ship's activities were believed to have been a part of a massive naval exercise by Russia.
NHK reported, according to the officials, the Russian ships have been traveling south about 280 kilometers southeast of Cape Imero in the northern prefecture of Hokkaido on the previous day. They also say 5 of them were spotted off Hokkaido last Thursday. Japan's defense ministry also confirmed that 2 Chinese Navy ships, including an intelligence-gathering vessel, were navigating east through the Tsugaru Strait to the Pacific Ocean on Thursday. The waters are between Japan's main island of Honshu and Hokkaido.
A Russian warship twice violated Danish territorial waters in the Baltic Sea on June 16th. Danish armed forces announced on its website Forsvaret that a Russian corvette last night violated Danish territorial waters twice. After a call on civilian VHF radio from the Navy's Maritime Response Unit, the Russian ship immediately left Danish territorial waters. Al Jazeera reported the island of Christiansø is located 300 kilometers from the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad.
Media reported Denmark's Foreign Minister Jeppe Kofod summoned the Russian ambassador over the incident. Denmark is a member of NATO and under NATO's collective defense principle in Article 5 of the treaty that an attack against one ally is considered as an attack against all allies. With the same concept, Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe claimed on December 14, 2021, that an attack on a U.S. military vessel in any contingency concerning Taiwan could become a situation allowing Japan to exercise the right to collective self-defense.
Nikkei Asia reported on June 19th, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on Sunday took a cautious view about acquiring a nuclear-powered submarine to boost the country's defense capability. In response to a call made by some opposition parties ahead of next month's upper house election. Ichiro Matsui, leader of the Japan Innovation Party, and Yuichiro Tamaki, head of the Democratic Party for the People, called for acquisition of a nuclear-powered submarine to boost deterrence and reconnaissance capability.
Nikkei Asia reported, in an appearance on a Fuji TV program with other party leaders, Kishida cited the difficulty of using nuclear power for military purposes under Japan's atomic energy law and the high running cost. But Kishida stressed the need to reinforce Japan's defenses at a time when Russia's invasion of Ukraine and Chinese military assertiveness have highlighted Japan's security challenges. He said, "We will see what needs to be prioritized to safeguard the people's lives and their livelihoods."
U.S. President Joe Biden said on June 18th that he will be talking to Chinese President Xi Jinping soon. When asked by reporters whether he had decided to lift any of the tariffs imposed by the Trump administration on China, Biden said, "We're in the process of doing that, and I'm in the process of making up my mind." Biden declined to say when specifically he would talk to Xi, saying only, "I'm going to be talking to him." Bloomberg reported U.S. officials are working to set up a possible call this summer.
Bloomberg reported one person familiar with planning said a potential summer call could come as soon as July, but any in-person meeting of the 2 leaders would wait until after China's Communist Party Congress late in the year. Xi, who is seeking to secure a 3rd term as China's leader, earlier in the week, U.S. National Security Advisor Jack Sullivan and China's top diplomat Yang Jiechi met on June 13th in Luxembourg for more than 4 hours, signaling that leaders are trying to keep high-level communications open.
NASA's flagship X-ray telescope, the Chandra X-ray Observatory, witnessed a young pulsar is blazing through the Milky Way at a speed of over 1 million miles per hour, one of the fastest objects of its kind ever seen. Pulsars are rapidly spinning neutron stars that are formed when some massive stars run out of fuel, collapse, and explode. This pulsar is racing through the remains of the supernova explosion that created it, called G292.0 plus 1.8, located about 20,000 light years from Earth.
The leader of the study at the Center for Astrophysics, Harvard and Smithsonian, Xi Long, said in addition to learning more about the age of G292 0.0 plus 1.8, the research team also examined how the supernova gave the pulsar its powerful kick. There are two main possibilities, both involving material not being ejected by the supernova evenly in all directions. One possibility is that neutrons produced in the explosion are ejected from the explosion asymmetrically, and the other is that the debris from the explosion is ejected asymmetrically.
Nearly 6 million people stranded and at least 19 people killed in monsoon rains, which caused widespread flooding in northeastern Bangladesh and India. A government expert described the flooding in Bangladesh are potentially the country's worst since 2004. The flooding was exacerbated by the runoff from heavy rain across Indian mountains. Rain continued on Sunday, June 19th, with more forecast over the next 2 days. Seasonal monsoon rains, a lifeline for farmers across South Asia, also typically cause loss of life and property every year.
The chief administrator of Bangladesh Sylhet region, Mohammad Mesharaf Hossain, said, "Much of the country's northeast is underwater and the situation is getting worse as heavy downpour continues." Bangladesh and India have experienced increasing extreme weather in recent years, causing large-scale damage. Environmentalists warn climate change could lead to more disasters, especially in low-lying and densely populated Bangladesh. The worst hit, Sumanganji district in Bangladesh, is now almost disconnected from the rest of the country.
Fires and explosion at a Sinopec Shanghai petrochemical plant in outlying Jingsan district have killed at least one person on June 18th. The refinery is located near the South Shanghai seafront and a wetland park. The company said it was conducting environmental monitoring of the nearby area. The company said at present no environmental impact on the surrounding bodies of water has been found. The person who died was a third-party transport vehicle driver, and an employee suffered minor injuries.
According to local media, an early morning explosion was heard by residents up to 6 kilometers away from the petrochemical plant. One person said that tremors from the explosion caused their apartment door to shake violently. Half the sky was full of red fire and thick black smoke. There was dust and cotton-like things floating in the air. The sound of burning could be heard. It's a huge roar, like the sound of a plane in flight. The Shanghai Fire Department said on Weibo that it had dispatched more than 500 personnel immediately after the incident occurred.
YouTube has announced on June 15th that it has 1.5 billion monthly logged-in audiences for its TikTok rival Shorts. In an effort to try to muscle in on TikTok's success, the leader of long-form videos platform YouTube presented itself as a viable competitor with short-form video platform Shorts less than 2 years ago. Last week, it said its YouTube Shorts is now being watched by over 1.5 billion users every month. By comparison, in the same time frame, TikTok announced 1 billion monthly users in September 2021.
My TikTok.
Tara Wolper-Levy, YouTube's vice president of the Americas, said that long-form content remains the best way for creators to deeply engage and develop long-term relationships with their audiences. but that shorts offer an exciting new way to be a part of a viewer's journey and to introduce themselves and their whole portfolio to new audiences. As the report notes, interestingly, TikTok is trying to move in the other direction toward YouTube's long-form content and now allows users to create 10-minute videos on the platform.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. Let's make every day a fun day. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.